Arrival of the Void Reaper. The night sky over Manhattan should have been familiar. Bright neon lights below, the faint hum of taxis, and a blanket of stars above. But on this night, the stars themselves trembled. A black sphere, faintly glowing like an inverted sun, emerged in the sky, blotting out constellations. The city below stilled. People stopped mid-step. Phones rose to the heavens, capturing what they could not understand. Peter Parker felt it before he saw it. Perched on the edge of a high-rise, Spider-Man watched as the sphere cracked open like an egg, spilling violet fire across the sky. From within descended something colossal, an armored figure, 10 feet tall, its surface like obsidian alive with shifting patterns. Its face was hidden behind a helm shaped like a skull. Around him swirled tendrils of black light that seemed to sap the strength from everything they touched. The alien landed in Times Square, and with his arrival came silence. Screens went dark, lights flickered, and the city that never slept fell eerily quiet. Then came the sound, like a chorus of screams carried on the wind. Spider-Man swung closer, heart pounding. His spider sense screamed, louder than ever. This wasn't just danger, it was annihilation in physical form. "People of Earth," the figure's voice thundered, not through sound but directly into every mind within miles. "I am Vorrath of the Dralkar. Your world pulses with the energy of billions. I have come to harvest it. You will not resist. You cannot resist." Civilians collapsed where they stood, drained of consciousness. Some simply fell to their knees, gasping as if the air itself had grown thin. Vorrath's tendrils spread, latching onto the streets, the buildings, the very life of the city. Spider-Man clenched his fists. He was out of his depth, no question. But if he didn't act, people would die. Webbing shot out, striking one of the tendrils. The alien shifted his gaze, violet eyes burning beneath the helm. "Ah," Vorrath murmured inside his head. "One of your kind dares oppose." Before Peter could reply, lightning split the sky. Thunder rolled so loud it shattered windows, and with it came a voice strong and defiant. "Begone, parasite. Midgard is not yours to claim." Thor descended in a storm of lightning, Mjolnir crackling with divine energy. He struck the ground with a force that sent shockwaves through Times Square, forcing Vorrath back a single step. The onlookers who hadn't fled found new hope in the presence of the Thunder God. Spider-Man exhaled in relief. Reinforcements. But then the ground shook again, not from the alien, but from something rising from beneath. The street cracked open as a massive green hand tore through concrete. "Leave! Hulk smash alien!" roared Bruce Banner's alter ego as he leapt onto the battlefield, eyes glowing emerald with fury. 3 stood against 1, the god of thunder, the raging giant, and the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Vorrath's helm tilted slightly, as though amused. "Ah, the champions! Stronger than the rest. You will serve as the first sacrifices." With a motion of his hand, the black tendrils lashed forward. Thor's hammer struck one, obliterating it in a crackle of lightning. Hulk tore another apart with brute strength, though the energy sizzled against his skin. Spider-Man danced between strikes, webbing tendrils and pulling civilians to safety whenever he could. But with every attack, Vorrath seemed to grow stronger. The violet glow in his armor deepened, pulsing like a heartbeat. The air grew colder. "Your strength feeds me," Vorrath declared. "Your fury, your storms, your defiance, it all becomes mine." Thor frowned, gripping Mjolnir tighter. Hulk growled, already preparing to strike again. Spider-Man realized first what this meant. Fighting him directly wasn't just ineffective, it was empowering him. Guys," Spidey called, flipping onto a lamppost. "Punching him is like charging his batteries. We gotta think smarter, not angrier." Thor glanced at him, lightning dancing across his armor. "Then we must find the core of his power." Hulk slammed a fist into his palm. Core or no core? Hulk smash anyway. The alien lifted both arms, summoning a storm of tendrils that stretched toward every direction, seeking to consume the city block. Times Square erupted in chaos, cars flipping, glass shattering. Spider-Man's heart sank as screams echoed from every corner. This was no simple invasion. This was extermination. And yet, as he stood shoulder to shoulder with Thor and Hulk, Peter Parker felt something stir, a fragile ember of hope. Vorrath had come to harvest humanity's life force. But humanity had faced gods, monsters, and aliens before. They had endured, adapted, and fought back. This fight was only beginning. The Void Reaper had arrived, and Earth's defenders would meet him head-on. Clash of the unstoppable. Times Square was chaos. Smoke rose from shattered billboards, glass rained down like deadly snow, and the air trembled with alien energy. Vorrath towered at the center, his obsidian armor pulsing brighter with every second as the tendrils of black energy drew power from the chaos. Spider-Man swung low across the battlefield, webbing cars out of civilians' escape paths and yanking two people to safety just as a tendril tore through the asphalt where they'd stood. His spider sense blared like an alarm bell in his skull. He's not just strong, he's feeding off everything we throw at him. Above, Thor's voice cracked like thunder. By Odin's beard, creature, you will harm Midgard no longer. With a swing of Mjolnir, the god of thunder hurled a bolt of lightning straight at Vorrath's chest. The impact was blinding. The ground shook, and Spider-Man's lenses dimmed automatically against the brilliance of the strike. But when the light cleared, Vorrath was still standing, stronger, taller, his obsidian armor glowing with violet arcs of electricity. "Your thunder," Vorrath rumbled, "is mine." He raised one hand, and lightning danced across his fingers, stolen from Thor himself. Then, with a wave, he unleashed it back at the heroes. The bolt struck Thor, hurling him through a row of taxis. Hulk leapt forward in fury, landing a punch that cracked the air like a cannon. The street buckled under the impact, but Vorrath only staggered, his armor glowing hotter. Spider-Man's heart dropped. He's charging up from everything they do. We're giving him exactly what he wants. Vorrath's helm turned, those burning violet eyes locking onto Spider-Man. "And you, little one. You are a spark. A fragile flame. I will extinguish you first." Before Peter could react, a tendril lashed out, faster than anything he'd ever seen. His spider sense screamed. He flipped backward, narrowly avoiding it, but the tendril smashed into the skyscraper behind him, tearing through concrete as if it were paper. Debris rained toward the crowd. "Not today!" Spider-Man shouted, shooting webs in every direction, catching falling slabs of stone, holding them suspended long enough for people below to scatter. His arms burned with the effort, his body screaming in protest. Hulk roared, slamming into Vorrath with both fists, driving him backward through the street. Cars flipped, asphalt cracked, and Vorrath's armor fractured slightly, thin glowing lines forming across his chest plate. Thor rose, battered but unbroken, lightning still sparking across his armor. "I see it, Spider-Man. The cracks." Spider-Man landed beside him, panting. "Yeah, but only when he's hit with raw force. Light or heat makes it worse. I saw it when the sun reflected off him earlier." Thor grinned through bloodied lips. "Then we shall burn him with the dawn itself." But Hulk wasn't waiting for plans. Fueled by rage, he tore into Vorrath again, fists pounding faster and faster, each blow shaking the earth. Vorrath laughed, violet energy surging stronger with each strike. "More!" Vorrath bellowed. "Give me more!" Spider-Man's heart raced. Hulk's fury was feeding the alien like a raging fire. If they didn't stop him, Hulk might unleash enough to doom the entire city. Peter leapt onto Hulk's shoulder, clinging to him desperately. "Big guy, wait. You're making him stronger." Hulk snarled, shaking him off. "Hulk smash." Another punch landed, and Vorrath's armor flared like molten steel. Thor charged, Mjolnir spinning, and struck Vorrath's jaw with the force of a thunderstorm. The alien staggered, his helm cracking slightly, revealing a glimpse of alien flesh beneath. But the violet light only intensified. He reached out, catching Thor by the throat, lifting him into the air with one hand. "You gods," Vorrath sneered. "You giants. You insects. All are equal when drained into the void." Thor gasped, struggling, as the energy sapped from his body into Vorrath's armor. Hulk barreled in, smashing Vorrath free of him, but the alien only laughed. Spider-Man realized something. He's absorbing direct energy, but when light and reflection hit him, he fractures. He swung upward, climbing a half-shattered skyscraper, using its reflective windows as a canvas. The early dawn was creeping over the horizon, weak but present. If they could just expose him long enough, the light could weaken him. "Thor! Hulk! Hold him still!" Peter shouted. Thor, coughing, still found the strength to rise. "You heard him, Green One. Brace yourself." Hulk snarled, gripping Vorrath from behind in a bear hug that cracked the alien's armor. "Hulk, hold!" Vorrath thrashed, tendrils whipping in every direction, but Thor joined the struggle, wrapping his arms around Vorrath's weapon arm, forcing it down. "Do it, Spider-Man. Now!" Spider-Man leapt, firing webs across the shattered glass of the skyscraper, pulling huge reflective panes into position. He angled them toward the rising sun, forcing the light directly onto Vorrath's body. The effect was immediate. His obsidian armor screeched as cracks spread across it, violet energy spilling out like fire through glass. Vorrath roared, his voice shaking the city. "No! You dare use light against me?" Spider-Man flipped, landing on a nearby ledge, panting. "Yeah. And here's the thing. Light travels fast. Faster than you." Hulk tightened his grip. "Hulk, hold tight." Thor summoned the last of his strength, lightning dancing along Mjolnir. He didn't strike Vorrath. He struck the glass panes, amplifying the light into a blinding flare that cascaded across the alien. The armor cracked wider. For the first time, Vorrath staggered, not in strength, but in pain. The impossible had happened. He was vulnerable. But as the three heroes gasped for breath, they knew this was only a glimpse of hope. Vorrath's true power was not yet spent, and the battle for Earth was far from over. Humanity's fire. 1,000 words. The first rays of dawn spread across Manhattan, slicing through smoke and dust, reflecting off glass towers like blades of light. Spider-Man's webs strained against shattered skyscraper panes, directing the sunlight onto Vorrath's obsidian armor. Cracks spread like spiderwebs across his chest and arms, violet fire spilling out from within. For the first time, Vorrath staggered backward, his voice a guttural roar shaking the city. "You dare use your star against me?" Hulk tightened his grip, every muscle bulging as he pinned the alien Warlord. "Hulk, not let go." His green skin sizzled under the violet energy draining from Vorrath, but still he held, refusing to release. Thor, battered and bloodied, raised Mjolnir high, lightning crawling across the skies. His voice was hoarse, but still carried the defiance of Asgard. "Creature of shadows, you face not just gods or giants, but the will of humankind. And that you cannot consume." He brought the hammer down, not upon Vorrath, but onto the glass pane Spider-Man had aligned. Lightning erupted through the reflective surfaces, amplifying the sunlight into a blinding inferno. The beams converged on Vorrath, burning through his armor. Spider-Man swung closer, landing on a cracked streetlight, every muscle aching. "Come on, come on!" His heart hammered in his chest. He knew this wasn't about gods or monsters. It was about people. The thousands of civilians cowering in subway tunnels, the firefighters still holding the lines, the families praying the dawn would rise. That's what was at stake. That's what Vorrath could never understand. The alien roared, violet energy lashing outward, blasting apart cars and shattering glass. Spider-Man dove, catching a mother and her child, webbing them to safety behind an overturned bus. He turned back just in time to see Vorrath break free of Hulk's grip, hurling the green giant across the street and into the side of a building. "Hulk!" Peter shouted. But the monster was already pulling himself free, blood dripping from his mouth, his rage burning hotter than pain. "Hulk!" "Smash!" he bellowed, leaping back into the fight, fists pounding Vorrath with renewed fury. Thor charged, swinging Mjolnir in a blazing arc, striking Vorrath across the helm and finally shattering it. For the first time, the alien's face was exposed. Gaunt, alien flesh stretched tight over glowing veins of violet energy, his eyes burning like dying stars. "You cannot win," Vorrath growled. "I am the Void. I am eternal hunger." Spider-Man dropped from above, landing square on Vorrath's cracked chest plate. "Yeah? Well, here's the thing about hunger." He fired webs across the fractures, pulling hard, forcing the cracks wider. "If you bite off more than you can chew, you choke." Thor roared, Hulk slammed, and Spider-Man pulled with everything he had. The sun's light burst through the widening cracks, violet energy spilling like lava. Vorrath screamed, thrashing wildly. Tendrils of shadow lashed out, toppling skyscrapers and tearing through asphalt, but his form was collapsing inward, devouring itself as the light consumed him. The heroes pressed the attack, Thor calling the storm, Hulk unleashing earth-shaking blows, Spider-Man pulling every fracture wider. Together, God, giant, and man forced the Void Reaper to his knees. With one final strike, Thor hurled Mjolnir into the heart of Vorrath's chest. Lightning and sunlight fused in a single cataclysmic blast. Hulk delivered the final punch, driving the hammer through the alien's core. The explosion lit the city brighter than dawn itself. When the light faded, only ash remained, drifting into the morning sky. Vorrath, the Void Reaper, was gone. Silence fell. Smoke curled above the ruins. Cars burned, buildings groaned under the weight of destruction, but life remained. Survivors emerged from hiding places, blinking at the sunrise. The city was broken, but not beaten. Spider-Man collapsed onto his knees, mask torn, chest heaving. His body screamed with pain, but his spirit blazed brighter than ever. Thor leaned on Mjolnir, armor scorched, but his eyes full of pride. Hulk stood, breathing heavily, his rage cooling as Bruce slowly surfaced beneath the emerald skin. Spider-Man looked up at them both, exhaustion in his voice. "So, I guess we make a pretty good team." Thor clapped a heavy hand on his shoulder. "A finer trio Midgard has not seen." Hulk snorted, smirking. "Hulk still strongest." Peter managed a laugh, wincing through the pain. Yeah, strongest. But maybe next time, let's fight someone who doesn't eat punches for breakfast." They turned to the horizon, where the sun now rose unobstructed, its light washing over the battered city. Despite the devastation, hope shimmered in that dawn. Humanity had endured. Not through godly thunder or monstrous rage alone, but through courage, sacrifice, and unity. Vorrath had come to harvest Earth's life force. But he left with nothing, because Earth's fire was unbreakable. And as long as that fire burned, no alien, no monster, no void could ever extinguish it.